that's a tantrum. And then he's armed. And when you carry a gun, you're prepared to kill. So you ought to be prepared to be killed, too.
You're watching the Spotlight Network. Starring Hollywood's newsman, Logan Crawford.
They now believe a single member.
He works with TV and film legends. And now, Logan's shining the spotlight on the world's top emerging authors and creators.
International were abducted.
This is Spotlight with Logan Crawford. Streaming on Roku, Apple TV, and Amazon Fire TV.
I'm Logan Crawford, and right now on Spotlight, we're talking about an amazing book, a powerful book, a book you won't want to put down. It is called Chairman Biden and Dr. Fauci's Monster, a deep dive into our political divide. It is a provocative, opinion-driven book that tackles America's hottest fault lines head-on. It is written by one of my favorite authors, one of my favorite guests, and a good guy who looks a lot like Clint Eastwood. His name is Ronald Alfred Weitzman, and he writes from the perspective of someone who identifies with Hillary's basket of deplorables. If you're a conservative in this country, like I am and like Ron is, you're deplorable according to Hillary. But he lays out strong claims on issues like abortion, COVID-19, gender, climate modeling, and the 2020 election. Whether you agree or not, this conversation is about hearing the argument, asking tough questions, and examining what's fueling our political divide. We're delighted to have this very talented author join us here today on Spotlight. We thank the team at Good River Print and Media for helping us put him in the spotlight today, and we ask viewers like you to support authors like him by subscribing to our channel and by purchasing his amazing book. The links are below this interview. Ron, good to see you today. Welcome back.
Thank you. It's good to see you, too.
This is such a great book. It really,
you're my favorite interviewer. I might as well say it now.
Well, I appreciate that. And you're my favorite guest. We always have a great time on the show when you're on. You've got a lot of energy. You got a lot of great insight, particularly into the political scene. President Trump, he's been in office, I guess, a little bit more than a year now. What kind of grade would you give him?
A+.
Yeah, same. Yeah. Where do you see his accomplishments? What do you think he's done that's been great for the country?
Well, for the country and for the world.
Both, really. I mean, he's really been focused on the world this time, too,
we're
right?
a unique country in history, and we have an obligation to set an example for the rest of the world.
Yeah.
And he does more. He goes further than that. He tries to stop wars. I said someplace in my book, and I don't know if I've ever said it on television, he uses dollars instead of bullets.
Yeah.
He's not afraid of using bullets, but he uses dollars as much as he can. And that's what the tariffs are. They're his bullets.
Exactly. And sometimes by doing that financial arm twisting, it's more effective because the leaders don't care often if the soldiers die, but they do care if they're going to be deprived of their masses of money. So I think it's extremely effective.
Or of their lives.
Yeah, exactly.
He's got some people worried about their lives too right now.
Yeah. It's amazing that the left still opposes him. He deposes a dictator in Venezuela, liberates the people there that have been thirsty for freedom, and he's knocked by the left for it. Like, oh, you can't do that. Why not? If you've got somebody who's abusing his power, who's been elected under false pretenses, why not drive that man from power, right?
And it's legal. It's not illegal. He has the power to do it.
Yeah.
And he did it.
Yep. Yeah.
And, well, I think the problem is that the biggest difficulty that the Democrats have had since he's come on the political scene is dealing with him. He's their real nemesis. He's their devil, their devil.
Yeah.
And they hate him. And when you hate, your mind gets frozen. You don't think. You can't think. You're just overcome with hatred.
Yeah.
And
exactly.
So anything he does is bad. He can't do anything good with it. Even George Wells, supposed to be an intellectual, is in that group. He just hates him so much.
Yeah. It's amazing. And George Wells was a conservative at one point, right?
Yes.
Yeah. I don't know if he still is.
Well, he works for the newspaper that's no longer conservative, the Washington Post.
Right, right, exactly, exactly. Let me ask you this, Greenland. I think it would be wonderful if we took it over and, had stability in our hemisphere because of that. What are your thoughts?
My thought is that he had a great idea for so young people to make a lot of money quickly, move to Greenland and then get his payment that he should give out all the residents there to vote for his America's taking it over, and then come back here. They'll be part of the United States. They can travel all they want.
Exactly. You would think people in Greenland would be dying to be part of the United States to get,
Yes. And he's offering them $500,000 each. He's willing for that. That's just a bargaining chip now
right.
out there in the wind. But that's a lot of money.
It is a lot of money. It's a lot of money to anyone, particularly they've been treated like garbage by Denmark.
Yes, they have been. Now the king is going to recognize them. Isn't that interesting?
Yeah, suddenly the king is there. Suddenly there's interest. And
I didn't know they had a king, and they probably didn't either. I mean, real live one.
exactly, exactly. It's also so the left opposes Trump taking over Greenland, okay? But let's say China or Russia tried to take over Greenland. Who's going to defend it? Not Denmark, right?
No, Denmark doesn't have the ability, even if it had the desire to do it.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
and if the United States goes down because of missiles coming over Greenland,
Right.
we're the holding up Europe.
Yeah.
And what's going on in Europe would be terrible if we weren't there to help Ukraine.
Exactly. Exactly. And he's brought peace to the Middle East for the most part. He's brought a peace between Hamas and Israel, and that's been a good thing.
Well, even he's gone beyond the Abraham Accords, and he's going to go further.
Mm. Yeah.
I mean, the fact that he's gone as far as he has now with Gaza is incredible.
Right. Yeah. And he's talking about rebuilding it and, making it like Trump Boulevard. I think that'd be beautiful.
He wants a golf course there, I know.
We got to get a golf course, a casino, a couple of condos, and a hotel, right?
No, it'll all be called Trump.
Exactly.
Or Trump Boulevard.
Exactly. It'll drive them crazy over there.
Yeah.
But he does have great plans and he's done great things. And I'm so happy he's in his office. Who do you look for when we look at the next election, which I guess is 2028?
Yes.
Who do you think might run?
I like Marco Rubio a lot.
Yeah.
And I'm a little bit unsure of the vice president. Now, I like him, but I think biggest difficulties the Republican Party has now, not it's just generally, is and the issue of abortion, which I talk about in the book.
Yep.
It's so much on one side there, it can't see that there's another religion called Judaism that doesn't believe a child is alive till it takes its first breath.
Right.
As his fetus until then belongs to the mother in Jewish law. And he's blind to things like that. He thinks that he's a Catholic and Catholicism is good, but it's not the only religion in the world.
Right. Right. Yeah, we are a multicultural, multi-religious country. All voices need to be represented. And I really do think that the choice should be between a woman and her doctor, right?
Yes. The Declaration was very careful. It's a Declaration of Independence and using the word creator even, didn't even use God, let alone Jesus.
Right. Right, exactly.
We're trying to be neutral about religion. That's what's one of the, I say in the book, the thing that we have over other countries is that God is our king. So that is kind of a placeholder. No human being can take that place.
Yeah, exactly.
About Greenland, I think we should take it over, but and it just would be a token ownership by Denmark if we put all our bases there and have use of them without restriction forever. And so that, then it becomes an ego problem. But if I were living in Denmark, I'd want to be an American citizen.
Why not? I mean, you could travel anywhere within the United States, which would be wonderful. It'd be nice to go to Florida or California in the summer when you're living in the winter when you're living in Greenland, right?
I don't know. Do you like to ski and ice skate? Yes.
Yeah, exactly, exactly. But yeah, there's so much opportunity, and obviously our system of Social Security, Medicare, that would benefit them as well. And
Mhm.
I think their housing looks pretty deplorable at this point also. So it'd be nice
Mhm.
if American investment came in and rebuilt some of their housing. So I think there'd be a lot to gain for Greenland. So that would be really, really great. And I'm
Housing,
on your side. Marco Rubio
all
has
their
proved
buildings are
himself to
terrible.
be, what's that? I'm sorry?
All their buildings are terrible there.
Yep.
As though they're still exploring the country.
Yeah,
They're temporary, kind of.
exactly. Exactly. And I would say Marco Rubio, I think you're right on the money there. He's proved himself to be knowledgeable, loyal, skilled, and
Yeah.
really a statesman. So I think he'd be a terrific choice.
Trump could depend on him 100%.
Yeah.
For example, I like Christy Nome, and I think she's a good head of the Department of Interior. She's more like a parent taking care of a child. He had to send a grandfather there to and
Yeah.
home it uh,
Right. Right.
to temper things down.
Right. Well, you did need a steady hand on the till at that point, somebody who would, stabilize
You
things.
could trust Rubio 100%.
Yeah.
100. So
Yeah. What's your take on this whole ICE enforcement action that's taking place?
that is so interesting. I feel there are three, I think there are three separate groups of people involved there. The
Mhm.
people who organize it,
Mhm.
I think they have money interests.
Yeah.
There's corruption. They're trying to protect themselves,
Mhm.
especially in Minnesota. We know there's corruption there, and we know the governor's been involved, and uh, they're trying to deflect attention. So they're organizing it. That's their motivation. They're not exactly foolish for that reason. They may be foolish for other reasons, but they've done this intentionally.
Yeah.
Then there are the people who are the true believers in Marxism, which there are only two classes of people: the cheaters and the cheated, and they want to take and they want to level that out. The whole equity idea, everybody should be equal and have only equal amounts of everything. And
Yeah.
there are no differences among people. They don't believe in competition. The competition is an enemy for a Marxist.
Yeah.
So therefore this, and they get their instruction from the books like Rules for Radicals.
Right.
Saul Alinsky, who was also a Carmelite, and and they just it teaches adults how to behave like children and get away with it.
Yeah.
That's what rules for radicals are.
Yeah.
And
Exactly.
they follow them and the true Marxists. And then there are the poor foot soldiers who have no gain in it, personal gain, but they've been led to believe that Trump is so evil that they just absolutely hate him. And
Yeah.
every moniker put out there, like dictator or Hitler, they grab onto to justify their hatred.
Exactly.
They don't know they're being used.
Yeah.
And
Exactly.
my only thing I can say to those people is just think about yourself. And can you laugh at yourself? If you can't laugh at yourself, you're in problem. You've got a problem.
Exactly. Exactly. If you take yourself too seriously, there's absolutely a problem. And these men and women, these agents who are working for ICE, are trying to get criminal aliens out of this country. They're trying to get murderers, rapists, domestic assaulters, get these people out of the country.
It's just common sense. You don't have to be a genius to figure that out.
Yeah. Who would I get, I understand your landscaper, the woman working in the restaurant might be an illegal alien or something. I have a heart for those people. I get it. They're nice, sweet people, hardworking people. But if you're a criminal and you've come here, get them out. you know? It's as simple as that.
Well, I'm
And
even forgetting everybody who came here illegally out.
yeah, I mean, I agree. I agree. I mean, there's a process, follow that process. We can't afford it.
Oh,
We
if
don't
you have
want,
a wedding, if somebody comes in that you didn't invite, don't you want them out?
exactly. Somebody walked into your home and they weren't invited, you'd want them out,
Yeah,
right? I mean,
that's all
basically,
he has
this
to
is our
do
home, the
wrong.
United
That's all he
States.
has to do wrong. He doesn't belong there.
Exactly, exactly. But these agitators who are spitting at these cops, who are kicking at their vehicles, who are blowing loud, shrill whistles in their ears, and they're getting shot. I mean,
Well,
I
you know,
don't wish them dead, and it's
it's
terrible they died. But if you attack a cop, you might get killed, right?
yes. Well, the whole idea is they regress so much to be childish in their behavior. They're testing limits, and they go over the limits, and that's what happened to these two people that got killed.
Yeah,
Someone's driving a car at me and I've got a gun. The only way I can get her foot or his foot off the pedal is to shoot him.
yeah, that's what you're going to do.
I
And
can't
the
sit up.
guy who was the nurse, Alex Preddy, days earlier he was shown spitting at them, kicking their cars and breaking their taillights. He was armed with a
Right.
specially
No,
outfitted gun.
that's a tantrum. And then he's armed. And when you carry a gun, you're prepared to kill. So you ought to be prepared to be killed too.
Right, right.
You're
And he had a
prepared to kill.
special he had a special laser scope on that gun.
Yeah, yes, yes, yes. And two,
Amazing.
and he had two, and he had loaded with other bullets
Yeah,
too.
he had a couple of clips with him, other ammo. Yeah, it was frightening. It's absolutely frightening. And the fact that this man is made out to be an angel is crazy. And things go wrong. When they see that gun, people might panic, people might scream gun, and people start firing. It's a
Why do you
mess.
have a gun? It's a peaceful call, a peaceful demonstration.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Why are you bringing a gun to a peaceful demonstration? But it's terrible. It looks like Tom Homan has quieted things down, which is good.
Yes.
I like Kristi Noem as well, but she is young, and
And
she's very strong
well,
with her
we're
rhetoric.
like a parent to the children, and he's like a grandparent.
Exactly, exactly. So,
Trump knew that.
yeah, they both have their places, and I think they're both
Yeah.
doing great jobs.
Well, we're
Um,
lucky to have a Holman.
yeah, absolutely. It's a shame that Ukraine, this is probably one of Trump's disappointments because I thought he would bring peace to Ukraine more readily. But the
Yeah, the
fact that
first
it
one.
hasn't happened yet,
Well, the people who describe Putin as wanting to restore the Russian Empire are correct. He
hmm,
thinks that's his mission, and Trump respects that part of him. But he thought he had him under control before Biden took over,
hmm,
because because a person like Putin respects power. It
hmm,
respects somebody who will use power who has it.
right,
Biden was not that person.
right.
Biden was all talk and no muscle.
Yeah, yeah. And his talk didn't make sense. I mean, there
And,
was a problem with Biden, no doubt.
I'm a psychologist. I knew that. I knew he was seeing off from the very. I also knew he was sociopathic, which
Yeah,
worried me even more,
right.
because he sold himself out to Bernie Sanders. He said, "You help me get elected, and I'll adopt your platform," which he did. It was a
Right.
deal.
Oh,
And he,
he has no principle, he has no character, he has
no,
no spine, he has no ideals or beliefs. He'll just do anything to get elected and do anything that the people in power tell him to do.
he
Yeah.
just wanted to be president.
Right.
He, he didn't. He wasn't up to the job. He never was up to the job.
Right, right. Well, particularly when he got it, he was completely not up to the job. And
Yeah.
we're lucky that the nation survived it, although we got flooded with, I don't know how many, 10, 20, 15 million people, uh, illegal aliens because of Biden.
And that's the job that Trump has to get them out.
Yeah, exactly. And I
He,
feel like if they wanted to, I mean, just close the employment loopholes. I mean, just make it so you have to prove you're a citizen to work, right?
yeah, or a green card.
Yeah. Yeah, you have to show a
And,
passport, or a
Yeah.
green card, because driver licenses don't work anymore because they give driver's license to illegals. So,
Well, yeah, they give driver's license to people who can't read signs, who drive trucks.
and do U-turns on interstates and kill a bunch of people. I know. Yeah, it's a mess. It's a mess. It really is. And so Trump's done a great job in cleaning up this mess. Where do you think he should focus attention next? What do you think he should try to do? He's got 3 more years thereabouts in
Well,
office.
immediately, what I'm concerned about immediately is that the Democrats play a lot of tricks, because they have to. They don't have a platform that they can sell.
Hmm.
So I think they're trying to mislead Trump into being more concerned about the economy than he should be.
Hmm.
I'd be more concerned if I were Trump about the issue of abortion and how the Republican Party looks, because the last election that the Democrats did so well in New Jersey and,
Yeah.
and Virginia was terrible. Virginia, how they won and what they're doing there now. But the 81% of women of childbearing age were voting for the Democrats, and they're still around for the next election.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
So just be careful of the issue. Don't on Fox Radio. Don't exalt that you won. So just don't lord it over the Democrats, and don't bring it out or tempt them to have it as an issue. They may have it anyway.
Right. Exactly. Exactly. Yeah, it's not something that'll be decided politically. It's a decision that should be made between a person's
And her
own self, their doctor, and their God, right?
and her husband.
And their husband. Well, husbands don't count. In today's leftist society, husbands don't count.
But even in Jewish law, they give the woman preference and ownership of the fetus over the husband.
Amazing, amazing. Well, that's what it's like. I'd imagine.
Husband.
Yeah, if a man tried to stop a woman from having an abortion, one, he'd be labeled a misogynist, and
Yes.
two, he would get nowhere.
That's right. It's part of her body. It's
Right.
her decision.
He's just got to pay for it for the rest of his life.
Yeah.
With child support and all that stuff. Yeah. Amazing, amazing.
Well, this child has to pay for it too.
Yeah.
No
Exactly, exactly. COVID-19, thank God it's in the rearview mirror. It's a big part of your book. We were manipulated by it. We were controlled by it. We were exploited by it. What's your take as you look back to 6 years ago now to 2020? What's your take on it all?
Well, of course, the first thing is the Democrats would have not won without COVID
Right.
at all, because Trump was doing extremely well.
Yeah.
And our economy would be much better. The world would be much better off without
Yeah.
COVID.
Yeah.
I think Dr. Fauci is that if you had to point at one person who was most responsible, it's Dr. Fauci. Not
Right.
only for it's happening in the first place because he funded that laboratory, after we decided it was too dangerous and we unfunded that research for a few years, he refunded it. And that laboratory is known to be careless with laboratory work.
Mhm.
And whether it was or not, it happened
Yeah.
there. It was very dangerous. I think they overplayed how dangerous it was. Half the people in the country tested positive and did have serious symptoms,
Right.
and were immune to it after that. And the Biden administration, directed by Fauci, insisted that everybody be vaccinated. There must have been money there from the
The drug companies. Yeah.
from the pharmaceutical companies, because that was unnecessary and that counterproductive. Sometimes when you got vaccinated after you had it before, it got worse.
Yeah. Exactly. Exactly. And God knows what's going to happen. We'll never get the truth as to people who are harmed by the vaccines.
Well,
That's
the
for
people
sure.
who were harmed were the children who
Yeah.
were immune to it and lost 2 years, almost 2 years of school.
Right. Exactly. Yeah. And they're still hurting today, those kids.
And people lost their jobs and were kicked out of the military service.
Right. Or, yeah. I mean, a lot of people also lost their jobs.
Yeah,
Military, besides the military, people in civilian jobs lost their jobs. I know I couldn't work unless I got a shot, and I constantly had to show people that I had a vaccine card. And they were constantly sticking probes up my nose to test me to see if I had it, you know?
I'm 95 now. My wife is 86. We didn't even ever test positive.
Wow, that's great.
I mean, so people make generalities, and we're in good health. That's why
Yeah,
we're test positive. If you have any kind of comorbidity, you're vulnerable.
right. Exactly, exactly. Most of the people who died from COVID were either obese, had diabetes,
That's
had
right.
a pre-existing condition of some sort. And if you, I never tested positive for COVID either. I never got it as far as I know.
Yeah.
And I was out there and about and all of that. I was careful. I mean, I didn't go to movie theaters and things like that. I still
Well,
kind of no longer go to movie theaters.
well,
I don't want to cough either. You know what I mean?
we didn't go to barber shops because we couldn't, and we
Exactly.
didn't go to restaurants.
Right.
If you want to hurt yourself, that's a good way to do it, is make laws against yourself.
Right. Exactly. Exactly. Before we leave you today, talk to us a little bit about your psychology career. It sounds fascinating.
It's like,
Yeah.
well, as I said at the very beginning, I'm worried about these people who are Democrats who are out there testing limits and endangering their lives and hating Trump so much they can't think
Right.
for themselves. That I'm worried about them because I think we need a Democratic Party, but not Democrats like that who don't use their heads.
Right.
I mean, you have to
Exactly.
think. Just think about it. That's why I say just ask yourself it's a sense of humor you need.
Yeah,
You and
exactly.
I don't have it. I mean, I'm silly at home. My wife, instead of criticize me, she enjoys it. She encourages it.
That's
So
great.
if I
That's
have
great.
a serious wife who every little thing I say she takes seriously, we'd be divorced. In fact, we have been. It's my second wife.
That's funny. That's funny. That's
So
funny. So, any more writing for you? Do you do any little writing while you're at home?
I'm working on my memoir, and I
Oh,
am working.
good.
Yeah, I'm working on something about science in general. I think the biggest problem with the global warming issue is that the climatologists are acting like anything but scientists.
Right.
A scientist doesn't try to make the data fit his expectations, which is what they've been doing ever since they've been doing these studies every 6 years.
Yeah.
Data didn't fit the model that they developed did not fit the data they wanted. They thought the prediction should rise more steeply to be equal to the extent that to which carbon dioxide has increased in the atmosphere. And
Exactly.
only the data, the temperatures only increased about half as much as sort of the predictions following the data.
Yep.
So they tinkered with their data to make the predictions rise higher. But if you change a prediction, you have to change the error equally in the opposite direction. Otherwise, they will not add up to the temperature.
Yep.
So that movement in opposite directions created a negative correlation between them, which made errors impermissibly predictable because errors by definition are unpredictable, and also exaggerated upward and downward trends of the data. So they cooked their data to get what they wanted.
Right.
A scientist does the opposite. He has more than one hypothesis, and he tries to kill both of them. The one that survives and suffers is the one that wins. That's science. We don't say that we found the truth, but the best hypothesis is the one that survives our efforts to prove it wrong the best. So it's the closest to the truth, but we never say we reached the truth.
Wonder. Yep. Absolutely. Well, you've got a very, very sharp, observant mind, both scientifically and politically, which is why your book is so insightful, Ron. The name of the book is Chairman Biden and Dr. Fauci's Monster, a deep dive into our political divide. It is a blunt take on the issues that are tearing this country apart. Do you have something else you want to join?
One thing, if there is a literary agent watching or listening to this, I'd be happy as could be if you were to contact me. And you can find my telephone number by asking my host. Sure.
Okay, absolutely. I've got Ron's contact information. If you'd like to represent Ron, he's got a wonderful book here. He's working on a terrific second book as well. And his life story, his memoir, I think will be fascinating as well. And I can't wait to interview him about that. But I've got Ron's number. Contact me, Logan Crawford at Gmail, and I will share that information with you. Okay? To the
Thank,
folks at home, yes, go ahead, Ron.
thank you very much. It's been a pleasure.
It's been always a pleasure having you on the show. Like I say, you're my favorite guest, you're my favorite author, and you're very insightful and lots of energy, and it's always a great chat. To the folks at home, I'm Logan Crawford, thanking you for your time this time. Until next time.